Welcome back to Behind the Joystick, the podcast where we go behind the scenes to uncover the real stories, people, and the purpose behind gaming and the esports space. I'm your host, Cordy, and in today's episode, we are sitting down with Steve Machuga, CEO and founder of StackUp, an organization that is doing incredible work at an intersection of gaming and mental health for veterans and active duty service members. Whether you're a gamer, a creator, or someone who's in the mental health space and want to listen to a good story, this is an episode you don't want to miss. Enjoy.
So my name is Steve Machuga. I'm the executive director over at military charity StackUp.
Nice.
We support U.S. and allied veterans through gaming and geek culture. So what started as sending Xboxes and PlayStations to guys and gals overseas. Now we're a mental health charity.
That's awesome.
10-year anniversary this year, and we've helped over 70,000 veterans with our services.
That's very cool. I did do a few research, so like more into, I guess, details of StackUp. You do a bunch of like Overwatch charities or tournaments.
So Overwatch is one of our so we have 4 main programs.
Okay.
We have our supply crates where we box up games and gear, send them overseas to units. We have our air assault program, which is where we fly disabled or deserving veterans to various gaming and geek culture events, kind of like PAX here.
Yeah.
We have our Stacks program, which is where we have teams, small fire teams worth of people, volunteers that around the country and sometimes around the globe. Like we've got a team in New Zealand right now.
Yeah.
And then that's just volunteers that play games together locally, get out and do stuff, and kind of get people out from behind their computers and Discord chats.
Yeah.
And then lastly is our Overwatch program, which is our was our 24/7 suicide prevention team online. We still have a Discord channel where if somebody has something they need to get off their chest, it's just not immediate service. Where before we had somebody within 2 minutes, we had a counselor ready to go. It was a $250,000 program that we'd have to run.
Wow.
It was just too expensive.
Yeah.
So we had to shut that down. But we still have volunteers that help out where they can, and if somebody has something, they leave messages, and it's not immediate turnaround, but people will get back to you.
That's awesome. That's good.
Us.
How did this like all start for you?
So I was in the Army.
Okay.
Spent 8 years in. 4 years infantry and 4 years intel. And then when I was getting out, I started kind of refining myself post-military, and I started writing for a game blog, ironically.
That's awesome.
So I was doing pretty much what you're literally right down the hall in the media room, just running from appointment to appointment to trying out new games and doing previews and interviews, kind of like what you're doing. And just loved that world and started to build up a small following in the games industry. So when a buddy of mine who was in my wedding back in the day deployed to Afghanistan, he knew I had some contacts in the games industry. He was like, hey, the unit that was here before us really did a number on our recreation facility here. They took everything out with them when they left.
Oh, wow.
Is there anything you can do? Like, can you reach out to Microsoft and see if they'll send us an Xbox or something? I was like, yeah, let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
Reached out to a bunch of game devs and publishers and told them the situation, like, hey, I got a unit in Iraq that's struggling. Is there something you guys can do? Or Afghanistan. And the response we got back, I mean, this is 2009. So, I mean, Bin Laden was still on the loose and 9/11 was still
A whole thing.
Hashtag never forget was still a thing. And so we got a lot of product donated to us. And I say us, it was me in my basement.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it looked like a GameStop by the time I was like, so I boxed up a bunch of it, filled in some of the holes that we didn't get filled with donations, like just went to a GameStop and bought a bunch of stuff and put together a really neat care package and sent it overseas to my guy. And he sent back these amazing pictures of them doing a Guitar Hero tournament using a stolen briefing projector on the side of a Connex, and it was just like one of those things where it's like, oh, this is great, and I sent that to everybody who donated. And like, hey, check this out. Well, you get one unit, an Xbox. And next thing you know, hey, what about 296? Support. Right. What about 4.1 Fires? We could use an Xbox, and I still had a basement full of stuff. So it was like, I guess I could do this, and it started to kind of roll from there because it was like, as I've come to find out over the years, there's always more people to help.
Yes.
You might not have the donations, but people will always have their hand out looking for help, and we are happy to help out with our veterans. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, going into like veterans and whatnot, like even after they get out or while they're in there, they need kind of like that, I guess, mental state sanctuary from what they're dealing with or what they've gone through in like the Army or Marine Corps or Navy or wherever. How would you like, I don't know, people getting out mainly, because I feel like that one's more like a harder place, like because if you're in the Army for so long, then you get deployed back home, and then everyone's like, there's nothing else for you to do, like good luck. How would you like, I guess, raise awareness for people to go, hey, like we're here, like if you don't want to sit on your couch and not know what to do with your life or anything and you need help, like we're here. Like how do you go
So
along
that's
that?
it's a lot of word of mouth. We're not on billboards in Times Square,
Yeah.
so we're a mom and pop charity. We have a pretty limited marketing budget, but people generally the game space kind of know who it is we are at this point. Like we're not Wounded Warrior, but if you're a gamer and you're a veteran, people have at least like I think I've heard of that,
Yeah.
which is nice. And 10 years of doing this, we've built up a name for ourselves, so the word gets out there, and especially through other military sources as well, like. More military organizations have kind of picked up the slack, as it were, because nobody was doing this when I started doing
Right.
this, and now, like, there's American Legion Gaming now, and VFW has combat tested gaming, and there's a bunch of different orgs out there that are like starting to realize the value of video games as recreational therapy,
Yeah.
like making sure that people have a place to escape when they're having a tough time or they can't sleep or the therapist isn't available or any number of things. They have a bad day at work,
Yeah.
significant other is climbing up your butt, something to just get you out of your head and put you in a better place. And if it's playing games with your friends or family or something like that, it's I mean, you're a gamer.
Yeah.
You probably have some days when it's just like, I just need to relax. I'm going to jump in Stardew Valley and farm turnips and
Yes.
just that mindless, the weird gamification of chores that has happened, where it's like Power Wash Simulator and things like
Yeah.
that, where it's like, why am I enjoying this? This
Right.
is so dumb. If you'd have told me 20 years ago,
That would be it.
like, this is the game of the year 2024 Power Wash Simulator. It's like,
Yeah. Make
but
that make
that's
sense.
but right, exactly, and
Yeah.
but that is a lot of why it is this weird Zen garden that takes up a different part of your brain that you can just go away for a couple of
Yeah.
hours.
And you don't really have to like get up and out off the couch either. Like your brain's going, I know I have dishes to do, but I'd rather wash my car than wash the
Right. The
dishes.
joke is, it's like, you could power wash the house.
Yeah,
It's like,
right.
oh, well, we don't have all the equipment. All
Yeah.
right, but also,
But you do have a controller and a TV,
right.
so
No, I don't want to get all wet.
yeah.
You know.
It's like a whole cycle.
Yeah.
Now you also do like you are a Twitch partner, so you do a bunch of that work too. Is that something separate from Stack Up, or is that all in one?
It's part of our marketing. I mean,
Okay.
the idea is having a Twitch. The goal is to have 24/7 coverage on Twitch. Is to have somebody, a veteran or veteran supporter, running that channel at all times of the day.
Okay.
We're usually about 8 to 10 hours a day right now with volunteers, because people, Twitch streamers have their own channel that they want to support.
Yeah.
So we've got about 30 streamers that kind of rotate in. They donate like a stream or two a week to the channel and just kind of are there and readily available if somebody comes in and they're just like, what's the Stack Up program? I've heard about it, or I'm a vet and I want to know more about it. They can kind of act as this mobile, customer service. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, tell me about Stack Up, and they can talk, intelligently about our mission. And here's our Discord. Here's some links.
Yeah.
Do you need someone to talk to? Things like that. And so that's the goal of the partnered Twitch channel.
Okay.
Just making sure, and that, like, much like myself, I and the channel got our purple check marks back when it was a little easier. Like, you could just kind of, hey, we're a charity. You should give us this. And having those check marks, when we go into people's chats, it sits people up in their chairs a little bit. Like, oh, they're a legitimate thing.
Right.
It's kind of like
for sure.
It's kind of like Twitter with the blue check mark back in the day.
Oh yeah, no, back
Where it's
in
like,
the day,
oh,
not now.
that's a thing. And now it's like,
Yeah, now you just pay $15.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break. This episode is supported by Stack Up, a nonprofit doing incredible work for veterans and military active service members through gaming. They provide things like care packages, gaming equipment, and supportive community to help with the mental health and connections, especially for those who need it the most. If you're enjoying this conversation and want to support a mission that genuinely changes lives, take a second to check them out and learn more, donate, or even get involved. Just head to their website and show some love. All right, back to the episode.
They're making it hard for me to want to stay over here.
Oh yeah, everyone. Now for you though, I guess would you see yourself doing this before all of Stack Up was
No.
created?
Mm-mm.
No?
I was dinking around on the sidelines with games industry stuff. I was blogging. I was helping edit blogs and things, like doing a podcast and things like that. But there was no grand aspirations of mental health charity.
Yeah.
But I was working in DC at the time when this all started, and it was very much. I didn't know this is where my life was going to go, and just helping people turned into this really weird. The person I was in 2010 when I started doing charity work, and the person that I am now. They say your body regenerates every 7 years. Like every fingernail and cell dies and processes out every 7 years, and we're two literal lifetimes away from when I was in 2010, and I'm not that person anymore. Because I don't want to say I was a cunt, but I was not a charitable person. Let's just say that. I was very self-centered, me. And working in a environment where you are working with people desperately in need, like, because a lot of these people, like, we get requests, and it's the usual, like, oh, my computer's breaking or whatever, but we get these heartbreaking requests for support, where it's like, just or the thank yous we get, just like the things how we've changed people's lives, and it gets to you over time. You do this long enough, and it changes who I have been as a person.
That's
in
awesome.
my 40s. So. I'm not just a gamer anymore. I'm not just a kid. I'm helping people, and we're helping people as an organization. And we saved lives, like no shit saved lives, which is crazy to think about. But we have enough stories of our suicide prevention team saving people's lives.
Yeah.
And so it's like, just that, and it's nothing crazy. It's just enough to disrupt the chain of events that somebody is going to take their life tonight, and you keep them. They're like, hey, just stick around or take the bullets out of the gun, which was one of ours that was dramatically different from when I started this. Like, again, this was not the plan. I was making good money in DC as a contractor, and then just started doing charity work on the weekends, and the weekends turned into 4 days, and the 4 days would turn into, like, I'm gonna take the week off and come to PAX and do all this. And yeah, it's
That's awesome.
It's been a ride. I love it.
Would you be able to, like, I guess, share one of, like, I guess your most memorable, like, I did it moments in charity, or is it like too detailed?
No.
Okay.
We got a couple of them. Like, they've got two off the top of my head. A couple of years ago, we supported a family here in the States with an Xbox. It wasn't anything crazy. Some military veteran. We got him an Xbox, played it. Didn't think we don't always get thank yous back. It's one of those things where, like, hey, thanks, and they send back pictures, and then that's usually the end of the conversation. We don't hear from them again. In our community, but they interact a little bit. It's nothing crazy.
Right.
We had somebody come in, got them an Xbox. They were thankful, sent back pictures. Great. 6 months later, they sent back another email saying, hey, I thought you want to know. This is an interesting, and this is pre-COVID. We used the Xbox to play Minecraft with the family. So we'd all sit around the TV and play Minecraft together. It was a good way to bring the family together and things like that. I have a son who is, not me, but the person who we got the Xbox had a son who is severely developmentally disabled and Tourette syndrome, like really quirky, like just can't get a sentence out. And the father was like, we noticed when we were all playing games together that the son who had the Tourette syndrome did not need as much medication over the course of a day because he was being distracted by playing video games. And it was like one of these, I think we're onto something here, guys.
Yeah.
Like, it was like that's a weird, like, quirky thing. So that was one of our cooler, like, what do you don't say kind of moments. But the other one was the save that we had from our Overwatch team, where we had somebody come into our Discord and say, hey, I'm going to kill myself. I've got a gun. I'm going to shoot myself. I just wanted to let somebody know so you could get the authorities involved. And our counselor got him under control and said, hey, you know what, don't do that. Hey, what do all the
right questions.
diffusion questions, are like just getting him talking and, hey, tell us, who are you? Tell us about yourself. And got him to unload the gun, take the magazine out of the magazine well, and take a round out of the chamber.
Okay.
Like bottom line, just completely, not just take the magazine out, but
fully.
bullet out of the chamber. And got him talking. They talked for like 2 hours, and then he's like, "Hey, I feel better. Thank you."
Wow.
They went away for the night, came back the next day, and usually we don't get feedback from them. We don't get a lot of people going, "Hey, I almost killed myself."
Yeah.
Usually like thank you, and then they disappear and you never hear from them again. Or like 2 years from now, you'd be like, "Hey, I thought of killing myself, and then I talked with some of your people." End up doing anything. This time, the guy came back the next morning and said, "Hey, the next day, came back down, sat at my coffee table, took the gun, put the gun to my head and tried to kill myself. Forgot that I had unloaded the gun,
Yeah.
and the click like woke me up because I thought I was going to die, and then immediately like those stories you hear about, like the Golden Gate Bridge, people that jump
Yeah.
off and then immediately regret it.
They regret it, yeah.
So he immediately was like, "Oh my God," and went and got
Yeah.
help. And it was like one of those, you don't usually get that kind of feedback from our Overwatch program. So,
Yeah.
but that level of like, "Oh, we actually just saved somebody last night." And it's
Yeah,
like
that's
crazy
awesome.
to think about.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, yeah, it's scary, but it's like a huge like win and like a holy crap moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Man.
those are two that I like telling. That was like last year, so that was a more recent one.
Yeah.
The Tourette syndrome was pre-COVID, but it's
Oh,
still a
yeah.
great story
It's still
because
a
it's one of
great
those
one.
like,
He's learned to like slow down and like try to play, and he's at least like making family memories too with his
Right.
dad. Like
Right.
that's a huge win.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
all things that lead to the counter-suicide conversation. Happy family, if your family's all angry and hating each other, it's like, it's probably like, what, I don't need to be around for this, and just killing himself.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I have a loving family, and it's like,
You take the small moments.
there it is.
That's awesome. For people who like want to be involved in like spaces like Stack Up or want to create something similar, or what kind of like advice would you give them?
You have to really love it. First off, you're not going to make any money.
Right.
I bankrupted myself doing this. Several years of not making any money, living off of credit cards, and just trying to get this thing up and running. And so, and there are going to be days when you're like, why am I doing this myself? I should just get it. Kind of like streamers. Where it's like, if you're trying to make a living as a streamer and you're spending 12 hours a day streaming to 3 people, and it's like, what am I doing? I'm not getting there. You really have to want it. And you really have to want to make a difference. And the unfortunate reality that I found out about some of the things that I've learned, like America, and I can't even say this anymore, but America loves to talk about how much they support the troops.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Now, what that means is it's little jingoisms like, hashtag never forget, or we support the troops, or thank you for your service.
Yeah.
But when it comes to meaningful support to veterans, it's just not there. Because it's very easy to say you're supporting.
Right.
Like our director of fundraising's here with me, and she was like, I ran into somebody came up to me. They didn't know who I was, but they saw I was wearing a Stack Up shirt, and they were kind of trying to like, oh yeah, I've raised all kinds of money for Stack Up, and I did this, but I can't tell you about it because I had to sign an NDA. Like all this wrong information.
Right. It's like she works there and she knows. So.
Right. No, she was just wearing my director was just wearing a shirt.
Oh,
she didn't
okay.
introduce herself to like this person. The streamer ran up and was trying to be like, oh, I've raised so much money for those guys. They're great. And it's like trying to get information. I'm like, oh, who is this person? It's like steal valor, for lack of a better term. Like, oh, I raised all this money for that charity. Those guys are great. And it's like, oh, tell us about it. Oh, well, I can't. It's under NDA. And it's like, we don't make people, we're charity. What are we going to sign with? It's a secret.
Yeah, no, it should be something to like, huzzah, like I'm proud to raise money for Stack Up.
Well, not just that. It's like, but that level of like, people like to tell people that they're supporting people. Like, oh, I give the charity. Oh, do you? Tell me more. Well, I can't.
Yeah.
It's like, so that I've learned a lot about charities in general, but it's tough out there. And especially right now, if you're thinking of starting a charity, you are really climbing an uphill battle, because in 2026, like people, 2 jobs, 3 jobs just to keep the lights on, mom needs surgery and we got to go to GoFundMe to get the bills paid. It's ridiculous out there. So all of our donations are down just across the board.
Right.
Like just absolutely nothing going on there. I mean, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
But we've also had, like, we don't have a booth here. We don't have an air assault, which is usually we would bring veterans out and we have, but it's like a $20,000 weekend for us.
Yeah.
So it's like we can't do that we were doing that once a month for a long time. Like we're going to every convention, we would have a presence, we'd have a booth, we'd bring guys out. It was, we don't have that kind of money anymore. So it's very much like if you're looking to get in the charity game in 2026, you're in for a rough go because it's just tough out there. People just don't have money to give to other. If it's not to friends and family and people in their inner circle, it's like, why would I give to March of Dimes? I don't know where that money's going, but I know I can give it to my brother or sister or somebody in my. So that's just where it's at, you know.
No, for
Until
sure.
the economy starts to right itself in a way, and people are feeling more confident. And I've got plenty of money. Here's some of my money. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
who's got that right now? So
No, yeah, for sure. How would you, or I guess, what would you say to like people who want to like help with Stack Up if they don't have money? Like, what would be like another way to like help and support?
there's plenty of things to be done. I mean, volunteers for our Overwatch program, a perfect example. Like it's a stressful. I mean, when you get somebody in there and they are not feeling good about themselves and they want to talk or they want to. I mean, it can get to you. So there's that. There's volunteerism. There's local volunteerism, like with our Stacks program. If you want to get something started in your area with just other people want to help veterans, that's a great place to
awesome.
start. Our Discord channel, we have this thing called Rexy's Tavern, which is a program I came up with, which is we work with this group called Stream Elements,
Okay.
and you probably like Raid Shadow Legends, if that name means anything to you. But
Oh, it does.
for a long time, that used to be the gold standard of we're going to pay streamers to play this mobile game.
Yeah.
Well, that's still going on. There's still a bunch of random games out there that if you play X number of hours and you meet these requirements, we'll give you money.
Okay.
So we have a bunch of volunteers playing these kind of middling or very monetized mobile games.
Right.
But at the end of the day, at the end of like a 30-day campaign, we'll get a check for a couple $100, and that's
Yeah.
that helps us. Usually the people we run into are folks that are like, oh, I'm just so bored. I've had so much time on my hands. I got nothing to do. I'm unemployed, or I'm 100% disabled as a veteran. I can't work anymore. I just have nothing to do. Is there anything I can do? I'm like, yeah, play this mobile game for a couple hours a day. If you're really that bored.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's part community too. It's like us being able to. It's kind of like being in a weird WoW guild.
Right.
Where it's like doing different achievements and playing this game together and raising money for a charity. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool. How do you, I guess, what do you see like Stack Up doing in like the next 5 or 10 years? Final round.
we almost didn't make it last year, so it was very much
Really?
it was really tough. Like we were getting close to not being able to make payroll, and it was like, I don't know how we're going to keep doing this. And we kept cutting our budget, and then we got a big influx of money, and then on Friday, this announcement with Gearbox happened. So we're partnered with them now, and they're doing this sale of this art print for us. And I don't know how much that's going to come out to, but it won't be. I don't think it will be an insignificant amount of money. But we're doing pretty good again. We're back in a good spot. So now the goal is let's not spend our money like we're a drunk sailor and shore leave.
Right. You've learned your lesson.
Right.
We sober up.
when during COVID were some of our best years because everybody had so much money. Just they were getting money from the government. They weren't traveling. They weren't paying for gas or holidays or anything like that. I was like, I'm just going to give money to my favorite streamer. Oh, you're doing a charity stream? Well, great. Here's $100. So we thought we had figured it out. Like, oh my God, we almost $2 million last year. This is crazy. This is amazing. And now we're back down to reality where it's like we're paying for post-COVID, and then now the current administration and everything going on, it's just everything's on fire. And so it's a matter of just, being smart about how we're moving so we can make it another 5-10 years. Because again, we were, and it was not through any fault of our own. We got a little aggressive coming out of COVID spending, but we tailored it back pretty quick. And then the donations, like it's just been year after year where we're down another 20% in fundraising. We're down another 20% in fundraising. It just kept going. It's just like, all right.
Yeah.
So, and this year is no different. Like a lot of the grants that we used to be able to rubber stamp and just hand in, and they would give us $10,000 or $20,000. It's like they've changed how they take applications, or they've changed how they are requiring or what they're supporting anymore. And it's just. Those were usually like, okay, we don't have to think too hard about this anymore. Now it's like those are going away.
Yeah.
It's like, all right,
they have
great.
to like really like.
Yeah, it's like, all right,
learn.
yeah, and it's like, okay, well, now what do we do? So
Yeah.
it's getting challenging out there. So every year it's like New Game Plus, where it's like, all right, let's do this again. Only it's going to be harder.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeesh, man.
yeah, it's unfortunate, but we're still, we've got plenty in the war chest right now, and that's the good thing. So for now, it's we can take a little bit of a breather.
Good.
So
That's awesome. Now, my friend isn't here, but he usually likes asking like food questions. So
okay.
we're gonna ask a snack question real quick. So, your favorite snack that you would go off and like it's one of like your sit down. You're gonna grab the game and play a little bit. What kind of like
Ooh.
snack would you go for?
Let's see. I got a bunch of different. The food is and was my thing. I'm on some weight loss drugs now, and that's totally changed how I eat anymore.
Yeah.
And so like the things that I used to like, oh boy, like I have so much stuff in my house that just is sitting there.
Oh,
and
no.
it's like in my head, I'm like, what? I just don't have that desire anymore, which
Yeah.
sucks because that's my drug of choice.
Oh yeah.
So it's this weird like, well, shit. Like I love pretzels and nacho cheese. Like,
Okay.
like I used to. That was one of my big ones. Nacho cheese is a real big part of my life. Nacho cheese, like it's not like Tostitos and nacho cheese,
Oh, yeah.
and then pretzels with the jalapeno cheese. I love that shit. And then random gummy bears. That's been
Ooh.
since I've started the weight loss drugs.
Yeah.
Like that was a big like, I don't know what it is. There's something about the sugar, I guess, that my body's just like more. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's those are my go-to like snacky.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yay, thank you so much. So okay, so now where can people find you, support, stack up, and then if they ever want to like reach out and ask questions, then where would that be to get to you?
So all of our media is stackup.org. So stackup.org. That's all of our socials like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky. Stackup.org is the website.
Okay.
And then our Discord is discord.gg/stackup.org. It's all spelled out. And we're on there. We're pretty sized. We got about 8,000 people in our Discord, so we've got a pretty sizable community. Now, of course, with any Discord, it's like, yeah, we got 8,000 people, and like 20 are talking at any given time. But yeah,
you also have the suicide prevention thing in
we
there
do.
too. So.
That is so. If you need a place to come chat, you do not need to be a veteran. In my head, when we were originally putting it together, it was like, yeah, this is for veteran services, and we don't want to clog the network with everybody.
Yeah.
But it also turned into like as long as we're not getting buried with people,
Yeah.
like there's no reason for us to silo it off, and it gives our people time to continue to train, as it were, like talk to live people. And
Yeah.
so that is available for anybody if they want to jump in our Discord as well. Our Overwatch channel is there. You can leave a message for one of our folks and they'll get back to you.
That's awesome. Cool. And then I'll put everything in the description or even in the show notes if you're listening to that on Spotify. And yeah, we'll see you Friday. Bye.